Gervonta Davis is raising doubts about how Terence Crawford has remained so dominant in boxing for over a decade without taking significant damage since his fight against Yuriorkis Gamboa in 2014. Davis finds it unusual that Crawford has never seemed vulnerable or struggled against opponents in recent years. He specifically questions how Crawford has maintained such a high level of performance and physical conditioning without being seriously hurt in any fight. Furthermore, Davis suggests that Crawford's involvement with SNAC, a company that provides supplements and training programs for athletes, might be a key factor in his continued success. By implying this, Davis is hinting at the possibility that Crawford's performance may not be entirely natural, which has sparked further debate among boxing fans and analysts. Some critics believe that Crawford's undefeated record is not as impressive as it appears on paper because they argue that he has not faced truly elite competition. According to these critics, many of the opponents on Crawford's resume were either past their prime, average fighters, or competitors who were never at an A-class level to begin with. They claim that Crawford's record is padded with fighters who were on the decline rather than in their prime, which makes his achievements less remarkable. In comparison, rising stars like Jaron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz are seen as having more exciting, fan-friendly styles and greater knockout power. Critics argue that if these young fighters had faced the same level of opposition that Crawford did, they would have likely achieved the same undefeated record, if not a better one, because they would have secured more knockouts and generated more excitement among fans. This argument raises concerns about whether Crawford has truly been tested against the best in his division, or if he has simply benefited from favorable matchmaking. Another major factor contributing to Crawford's current success is the financial influence of Turki Alalshik, a powerful figure in boxing promotion. Critics argue that if it weren't for Alalshik stepping in and offering lucrative opportunities, Crawford might never have secured major fights like his recent bout against Israil Madrimov. That fight not only gave Crawford a big paycheck, but also increased his profile, helping him land an even bigger showdown against Canelo Alvarez on September 13th. Many believe that without Alalshik's financial backing, Canelo would never have agreed to fight Crawford. The reason is simple. The fight might not generate enough pay-per-view revenue to justify the massive payouts that both fighters are demanding. Crawford's last fight, despite featuring a stacked undercard, reportedly only sold between 75,000 and 100,000 pay-per-view buys on DAZN. This relatively low number raises doubts about whether his fight with Canelo will be a major financial success, or if it's simply happening because of the massive financial guarantees involved. Davis is particularly skeptical about Crawford's ability to remain so dominant without facing real adversity in the ring. He points out that Crawford was visibly hurt by Yuriorkis Gamboa in 2014, yet in the years since, he has rarely been in serious trouble against any opponent. This raises questions in Davis's mind about how Crawford has managed to stay so strong, sharp, and untouchable, especially in a sport as brutal as boxing. Davis openly wondered why Crawford hasn't been clipped or seriously challenged in recent years, implying that something about his sustained dominance doesn't add up. His comments suggest that either Crawford has been extremely fortunate with his level of competition, or there might be external factors contributing to his continued success. This has led to further speculation and debate within the boxing community about whether Crawford's career has been as impressive as it seems. Critics argue that Crawford's resume is filled with aging fighters and former champions who were well past their prime by the time he faced them. Many believe that if boxing promoters were focused on making the most competitive and exciting fights, they would be prioritizing matchups like Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez rather than giving Crawford the opportunity. Benavidez is widely regarded as a more dangerous and exciting challenger for Canelo, and his style would likely make for a more thrilling fight. Some believe that Crawford has been fortunate to land this high-profile bout, as it may not be the most competitive or financially viable fight available. The ongoing debate over whether Crawford has truly earned his place among boxing's elite, or if he has been carefully guided toward success, continues to fuel discussions among boxing fans, analysts, and fighters alike. Many boxing fans and analysts have also pointed out that Crawford has never faced a truly aggressive and powerful young contender in his prime. While he has dominated many of his opponents, most of them were either aging champions or fighters who lacked the explosiveness to push him to his limits. This has led to a growing perception that Crawford has been strategically matched against opponents who posed little risk to his undefeated record. If he had faced someone like Jaron Ennis or Virgil Ortiz earlier in his career, many believe the outcome could have been different. These young fighters are known for their power, speed, and relentless pressure, qualities that could have tested Crawford in ways he has never experienced before. This lack of high-level competition in his resume continues to raise doubts about whether he is truly the best in his division or simply a skilled fighter who has benefited from favorable matchmaking. Another concern is the lack of pay-per-view success in Crawford's career. Despite being an undefeated champion, he has not been able to generate the kind of massive pay-per-view numbers that superstars like Canelo Alvarez, Floyd Mayweather, or Manny Pacquiao have consistently achieved. This suggests that while he is respected in the boxing world, he has not captured the attention of the general public in the same way other greats have. Some believe this is due to his reserved personality and fighting style, which, while effective, is not always the most exciting for casual fans. Others argue that his lack of big-name opponents has hurt his marketability, as he has not been involved in enough high-profile rivalries to generate mainstream interest. If his upcoming fight against Canelo does not bring in strong pay-per-view numbers, it could further confirm the idea that Crawford, while talented, is not a true box office star. Davis's comments about Crawford's association with SNAC have also added an extra layer of controversy to the discussion. SNAC is a company that specializes in sports nutrition and training programs, and while there is no direct evidence of wrongdoing, Davis's remarks suggest that he believes there may be something questionable about Crawford's physical conditioning and performance. While these claims are purely speculative, they have sparked debate within the boxing community about the role of supplements and advanced training methods in modern boxing.